Today, let us take up environment and international legal order in this video. So, the environmental plays a vital role in leading a human life. So, we have taken up this topic which has been prescribed for law students and also to various students. So, first we will see the environment definition. What is meant by environment? Environment is the very word derived from environ, the French word, which means the surrounding or sum total of all conditions and influence that affect development and life organism. So the living organism and development is affected by the environment, or it influences the environment influences the living organism and its development. So it is defined as sum total of all conditions and influences that affect development and life of the organism. So in a nutshell, the environment is the sum total of the surrounding condition which influences the organisms and its development. Then now we will see what is meant by environment or the factors included in the environment. Environment includes biotic or biosphere. Biotic means bio means life, and abiotic, and third component is solar energy. These three things are coming under the environment, that is land, water, atmosphere and sun energy. These are all coming under environment. So first we will see biotic factors. Biotic factors means the factors which have life, that is called fauna and flora. Fauna means animal, flora means plants. And we know very well fauna is called heterotroph. Hetero means different, that is trop means dependent. So it depends upon the plants. It cannot prepare food material by itself. The animals or human beings cannot prepare food material by itself, so it is called heterotroph. And the flora or plants is otherwise called autotroph. Auto means self, troph means that is dependent, self dependent. That means it can prepare food material by itself, that is by absorbing water from the land and carbon dioxide, the help of carbon dioxide, and by the energy given by the chloroplast, that is green, and water, carbon dioxide, sunlight and chlorophyll. With these things it prepare the starch, that is that's why it is called autotroph. In the case of abiotic means bio means life, abio means there is no life at all. They are it includes three spheres, that is atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere. Biosphere already we have seen. Biosphere is always called biotic factors. Abiotic factors includes atmosphere. Atmosphere means the surrounding gases around the earth is called atmosphere. And abiotic another factor is lithosphere. Litho means stone. The earth crust is made up of stones or rocks. That's why it is called lithosphere. Hydrosphere, and 3/4 of the world is made up of water. That's why it is called hydrosphere. These three things are included in the abiotic. So the atmosphere is surrounded by gaseous envelope which absorbs ultraviolet rays and electromagnetic radiation, and this atmosphere it depends upon the distance from the earth, it is divided into, it is termed as troposphere. Up to that is 15 kilometers, it is troposphere from the earth. Up to 15 kilometers, the atmospheric air is always called troposphere, and then 15 to 45 is called stratosphere, and the mesosphere 45 to 80 is called mesosphere, and the above 80 is always called thermosphere, which will be very cool, and the mesosphere is very hot. So in such a way the atmosphere is termed according to the distance from the earth. Then lithosphere means we are told that is made up of stones. Hydrosphere, the water, that is pond, the sea, lake, everything includes hydrosphere. Now the Alan Gilpin defines everything that is physically external to organism. So environment is everything external to organism is environment. And according to Justice P.N. Bhagavati, condition within and around organism, the around the organism, what are the things available, and within organism, what are the things available, conditions, that is according to Justice P.N. Bhagavati. Then now we will see, according to section 2A of Environmental Protection Act 1986, defines environment includes water, air and land, and interrelationship between these things which exist between water, air and land and organisms. So the interrelations between water, air, land and organisms, that is including humans, animals, plants, microorganisms, that is and also property. These things is called, this is defined as per the section 2 within bracket A of the Environmental Protection Act 1986. Then we will see, now we will see what is the ethics and environment. The ethics, what the ethics of environment says, for safe and healthy survival, the environment is very much concerned because it is for the health of for safe and health of the health survival of human beings and animals. So that is the ethics and environment. Anthropocentric perspective, according to the anthropocentric view, that is the human development point of view, nature to be nurtured. That is, if the nature is not there, then the nurturing of animals or plants will not be possible, and it is also for the human welfare. The human is also a party to the nature, so the nurturing of nature and at the same time the nurturing of human and animals are cohabitated because of the environment. So environment is considered necessary because of the connection between or the correlation between the man, plants and animals and also to the environment. So the nature to be nurtured, and nurture means that has to be developed or that has to be properly grown. Then scope, what is the scope of the environment? The scope of the environment means that is, we are very much concerned about the environment because the environmental degradation happens due to the activity of the human being or due to the nature itself. So the degradation should be avoided for the well-being of the human beings and also the animals. So naturally the acid rain occurs due to the accumulation of oxides in the atmosphere, due to the release of sulfur dioxide from the industries or carbon dioxide from industries, nitrogen oxide from industries. They subsequently combines with water and forms acid rain. So the acid rain, because the acid rain is very much considered deteriorating the conditions of the human life or the plants and animals, because it corrode the buildings, it corrode the animal tissue, and it is the considered as the 1 to 1.5, that is pH value is 1 to 1.5. The pH value 7 is neutral, and below that is acid, and above 7 the value of pH is alkaline. So here the pH value is reached from 1.15 because of the acid rain. So the acid rain is to be controlled by any means, by means of the emission of the gases such as sulfur, carbon dioxide and other things should be avoided. If at all, if it cannot be avoided, it should be converted in a proper way, and then so many barriers are to be arranged for the avoiding of acid rain. And also global warming. Then next we are going to talk about the global warming. The global warming is around now it is normally the global has a temperature, and it reaches more than the required level, and it goes every year it goes above the expected level. So what happens, the earth is heated up. Because of the earth heat is heated up, the warming happens, and warming is dangerous to the human being. So the infrared waves are, because we are accumulating lot of carbon dioxide in the earth. The carbon dioxide is having the capacity to absorb the infrared waves or the from the sunlight, and this that is they are trapped in the carbon dioxide. It is actually what has to be, what have to happen. Then naturally the trapped carbon dioxide should be again to be released to the atmosphere if there is less carbon dioxide. Since more carbon dioxide is available in the atmosphere due to human activity or the release of methane or water vapor and carbon dioxide, it traps the carbon dioxide, and it acts as a blanket for the trapping of infrared waves, and the earth surface is warmed up. That is called global warming. So these are all deteriorating due to global warming. The entire life cycle is changed. That is, the atmospheric temperature is changed. The entire climate pattern is changed, and we cannot expect the permanent Ganga, because during rainy days we get the water flow through the melting of ice, and during winter the rainy water comes. But if all the ice melts away, what happens? We cannot get the permanent Ganga. So these are all certain, and the sea water will also, since the glaciers also melting, the sea level will rise, and at one time the islands and the coastal areas will also be affected. It inundates the water inundates the land mass. So these are all certain global the effect of global warming. And ozone depletion, now it has been repaired. A ozone layer is there in the atmosphere that absorbs ultraviolet radiation from the earth, from the sun, and it acts as a blanket for the sun. Ultraviolet rays is not reaching the atmosphere, and it is not harming the human being. If the ozone is have a hole, then it will cause skin cancer and other thing because of ultraviolet radiation. Then that's why nowadays the CFC is not used in refrigerator. Carbofluorocarbon, these are all certain important gases which thin the ozone layer. Then loss of biodiversity because of the environmental degradation. Loss of biodiversity also happens. That is in a area there are a lot of animals, plant species we can see. That biodiversity we cannot see if all this deterioration happens in the environment. Then we diesel, we use lot of diesel and petrol. These are all emission. Due to emission the carbon dioxide level increases. Now we are using we are switching over to electric vehicles, compressed CNG, compressed natural gas, and lot of changes we are going to have. And use of public transport instead of one man using of car or motorcycle, they can use public transport so that the emission is avoided, and thereby carbon dioxide level also is avoided in the atmosphere. Then a lot of the selling of the running of industries or closing of industries and selling of industries have a lot of ramification over environment. And pollution, what is meant by pollution? We will see anything which harms the atmospheric gases, or it is changing the pattern of the atmospheric pattern, then it is called pollution. The causative thing which cause pollution is called pollutants. Say for example, the water pollution, air pollution, and then solid the pollution, the plastic and other things mixes with the water, and the sulfates are mixed with the water, and the industrial waste are let into the water. These are all called pollutants. And now we will see the pollutants cause harm to the environment. That is, say, water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution, solid pollution, e-waste pollution. So many waste pollutions are there. Next we will see what is meant by biome. Biome means the largest community, the large community of adaptation and wildlife. Biome means the large adaptation of wildlife, and community adaptation is called biome. And they are adapted to particular special climate, and usually that is called, there are usually 5 biomes are available. They are the tundra region, that is ice region, and then the desert region, grassland, savanna grassland, and then the aquatic regions. These are all called biomes. 5 biomes are there. Aquatic regions, that is grassland, that is savanna, forest regions, that is then it is desert, Sahara, like that, desert, Thar desert, tundra region, ice regions, that is polar regions. These are all called 5 biomes. Then biosphere, what's in the biosphere? That is called global ecosystem. The global ecosystem consists of organism and environment. In organism, we are going to see the global ecosystem. What is meant by ecosystem? The ecosystem, system means any combination of two things is called system. So here we are going to see about biotic factors and abiotic factors. Biotic factors are the things having life is called biotic factors, such as grass, the primary consumers, tertiary consumers, then the predators. These are all called the biotic factors. Abiotic factors are the sun, water, humidity. These are all abiotic factors. So the combination of biotic and abiotic factors is known as ecosystem. So the ecosystem is very it is coexistence, and it is correlative, and each one depends one on another. For example, the grassland is called the producer because it is an autotroph, so it is called producer. It feeds the other animals. That is, say, primary concern grass hopper takes the grass and survives. The grasshopper is eaten away by the consumer, that is bluebird, and the bird is consumed by snake, that is called tertiary consumer, and the snake is consumed by hawk or otherwise called eagle, that is called apex or the predator, and another one is called decomposer. Then all the things when die, it decomposes and becomes the manure or something like that for again for the development of the cycle. So that is the decomposer. The fungi and the bacteria, these are all called decomposers. That decomposes the dead material which is falling on the land or water. That is called decomposer. So this is with regard to the this is always called ecosystem. Global ecosystem consists of for producing the starch, the sunlight is necessary, water is necessary. So that is called abiotic factors. Now we will see the we will see the what is this is always called the food chain. This is always called food chain. Such an arrangement, the producer from producer to consumer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and also the predator, from predator to decomposer. This is called food chain. Then yes, from this we may the grass may eaten by rabbit, the rabbit may eaten by some other animal, like that the deer may eat grass, and the deer may eaten by tiger. So these are all some link between food chain and food. Lot of food chain combines and form food web. That's called food web. So within food chain we can see the food web. Now we will see the atmosphere contains 78% of nitrogen, 20.9% of oxygen, and the argon 0.9, carbon dioxide 0.031. So this should be maintained. This is reaching on higher side every year. So தமிழிலே என்வைரான்மெண்டல் சுற்றுச்சூழலும் இன்டர்நேஷனல் லீகல் ஆர்டர் என்ற